Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. As you can tell, we are back in the regular setup, back in my regular room once again. It's also really early in the morning, so excuse me if I seem a little tired, because we're back into the swing of things here at the house. But today is going to be a little bit of a serious topic, so if you guys are not really in for a kind of a serious topic, just tune out, because based on the title, you guys know that we're going to be talking about Rust, which had a very, 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 very troubling production. So if you guys don't want to hear about it, totally fine. Just just wait for the next video. Or if you are interested to hear my thoughts about the obvious subject, I did a whole video about it months ago as I hit my camera on this YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to it somewhere. But the reason why we're bringing it up is because, well, they are going to be finishing the movie, supposedly. They reached a settlement. Apparently the lawsuits, at least the major ones, have been dealt with. And everyone, for some reason, thought it was Alec Baldwin's fault, which I don't understand why. I guess because he has all the money, I guess. I don't know. But if you actually do your research, it wasn't his fault. I mean, again, watch my video that I have a link to. Yeah, it's not his fault. It was a crew member's fault as to what, the killing of Halyna Hutchins. It was due to a crew member. It was not due to Alec Baldwin. So yeah, the lawsuits, at least the major ones, it seems, have been dealt with. They reached a settlement, and they will be finishing the movie. They're going to be filming next year again. And the family will be, Halyna's family will be involved in some capacities. So, sorry if you hear a plane going by. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this should not be happening. I feel like this is just, I wouldn't say inappropriate, but it just... I have to view it from an artistic standpoint. Obviously, from a realistic, what has happened, that perspective, I understand why they're doing it. They want to pay homage, they want to pay tribute to Halyna, and it's very, very noble of them. I understand that. And they want to be able to finish what they started. Which is, I understand that completely. What I don't think is appropriate to do is to go into production. First off, I don't know what the legality of this is. Like, all the there's going to be more lawsuits that come from this. So I'm not sure how they're going to be handling that. Because just because they settled these ones doesn't mean that there will be other lawsuits in the future. There's most definitely will be. But I feel that this, this is a case of, the damage is already done. And by that, I mean that in twofold. One is the reality of it. Like I said, there's potential for more lawsuits to come out with this being in production. But also from an artistic standpoint, I feel that it has butchered whatever story that you're working on. It's one thing if it adds to it. I'll give you guys an example. I worked on a short film a few years back called Light. And it was the third of it was never planned to be a trilogy, but it planned to be it spawned into a trilogy of films containing one character that I played throughout my high school years. And my grandma was a big part of it. She had a major role in it, and she's really the core of those three movies. Um, and when we were working on Light, I had some intentions of having her in that movie, but during that time she was getting very sick, and um, I we just didn't we we decided to work her in a different capacity, because we wanted to incorporate her because she's the core of those movies, so we didn't want to just sideline her, obviously. Um, but we also, at the same time, wanted to give closure to that character, Daniel, the character that I played. Um, and during production, what happened was that my grandmother had unfortunately passed away during production, and we didn't get any time to, to do anything for that. Um, so what we did is, instead of making it solely about Daniel, because Daniel was the core of it, was also, the key character throughout those movies. As I addressed just earlier, Grandma was the core of the movies. Daniel's the main character, but Grandma is the core. So what we did for Light was that we created a tribute that helped um, ring in some of the themes that we were looking to address in Light, um, much more sincerely, I think, and I think a lot more meaningful. And it made for also the production more meaningful as well. It wasn't like we were trying to conjure up emotions. It's like, no, the emotions are now there, and we just now have to be able to portray it correctly and present it correctly, um, while also at the same time paying tribute to the to my grandmother. So um, so that's an instance where something like that, because believe me, if it didn't work, I wouldn't have put it in the movie. But it was just a very, very happy coincidence that my grandmother was there from day one on that journey with the first film, to then literally being there at the end. She is literally the last shot of those movies is her. So yeah. So yeah, it's a very, very it's very, very very important that if tragedy ever happens, you hope for it to, like, in terms of like working on a production or anything like that. If tragedy strikes on your set, yes, obviously give your respects towards those individuals and within your film, but don't make it about them unless it can work. Like Light, it is about Daniel, it absolutely is, but it is also very much so about a bond between a boy and his grandmother, um, and the losing. What happens when you lose that special someone in your life, and what that does to that individual. What they have to go through, um, emotionally. You know, at least that's a way that you can interpret the movie, but. Um, But circling it all back to Rust. Sorry, I got a little emotionally involved in that. Getting back to Rust. I don't think that the movie has to be about Helena, or they have to work under those kinds of circumstances, because Rust never had anything of Rust never had anything that I feel would be in tribute to Helena. It's a Western, it's this and that. And I just feel like it's butchering what they sought out to do. It's not benefiting them, it's butchering it. And I feel that it would turn this movie into something that it really shouldn't be. Like I said, unless such things can benefit it, then don't use it, because it just gets a little slippery when when such things are in there. Also from like the media, like, you know, like I don't know, like I just don't like no one's gonna ever talk about the movie, you know. They're gonna talk about what happened on set, and that's just, you know, like there's a lot of like things, a lot of things that could potentially happen, um, with having this movie released, having it just being filmed, you know, a lot of raw emotions, a lot of um, a lot of what is it? A lot of potential legal issues. The media is going to be all over it, and all over it in the wrong way. Like, people should be watching the movie. They should not be thinking about the individual. It's good to bring that up, but it should not be what it's about. Like, it's like, for example, Black Panther, that movie, Black Panther 2 that's coming out. When I go see the movie, I actually do plan on seeing it, but not because of what you think. It's not because of the MCU or anything like that. All I care about is like the transitioning period. Like, how are we gonna make this seamless? I don't think it's gonna work, but you know. Um, but for majority, a lot of people are going out to see it because they want to see how the movie pays respects to Chadwick Boseman, and also just the fact that it's the sequel to Black Panther. The people who are in it for a tribute, like, it's difficult because I understand why Ryan Coogler and people like him would do the things that they do, and it's obvious. Yeah, I mean, pay some respects to Chadwick Boseman, but I also would feel that it's more in the best interest to just focus on the story at hand, you know. And I hope that that's what Black Panther is. I hope that it is just focusing on a story and not having to remind us every 5 minutes about Chadwick Boseman. I would prefer that we just watch watch these characters and their stories play out versus having to be at a memorial service, if that makes any sense. You know, give the time when it's needed, but then move on from it. You know, um, and I feel like that Russ should do the same. Acknowledge Helena, obviously, but move on from it very quickly. Don't let the movie be all about that, you know? Make the movie that you want to make. Don't let don't let a tragedy get in the way of what your vision um is, you know? If it benefits it, like if you believe that this tragedy can help, you know, your narrative or present some layers to your narrative that you had never seen previously, then yeah, incorporate it in the ways that you see fit. But don't let it be the movie. That's just what I'm saying. And I feel like Rust is going to do that. I feel like Rust is going to make it into something that I feel is just unwarranted and is butchering what it was originally supposed to be, you know? Um, so I'm a little mixed on it. I think that it's has good intentions, but I question the artistic value. Like, is it worth? I don't know. It's just they're just I don't know. I don't know. It's just a it's a very interesting thing to ask. You know, is it when tragedy strikes when working on something? Is it worth is it worth it to keep going? In my instance with Light, it was because it helped because the movie because I always planned on making that movie for my grandma. That's, you know, so with her passing, it only drives me to make that movie better and to pay better respects and tribute to my grandmother. Because when we were working on the movie, it was gonna say for grandma, like as like a little gift, or to grandma, you know, something along those lines. And at the very end of the movie, um, you know, we are now paying our respects to my grandmother. Um, so it was again where it was able to fit within the plan. That's what I'm saying. So hopefully, like, with Rust, I wish them all the best, with what they're working on. I just hope that what they do with Rust is in the best intentions for the movie and not the best intentions for the family. Because I know that the family is working on this, and that's good. I mean, it would be kind of inappropriate if they weren't there in some capacity. But again, the movie should not be about them. The movie should be what you want it to make. So, and if you feel that you can incorporate Helena in that movie in some regard, or create a tribute that is meaningful and actually, works within the confines of what you have, then I say go for it. But if it doesn't, I still say acknowledge Helena, but don't let the movie be about Helena. So, I think I beat a dead horse enough. So, I hope that I hope that I made some sense. But yeah, so kind of a heavy topic to talk about. But you guys let me know your thoughts. Do you guys think that Rush should be continuing to film, or should they just leave it? My opinion is that if they have the right intentions and they stick with it, I don't see issues filming it. But I could see in the real world, legal issues. I could see a lot of things. I could see a lot of things happening to this movie, and I don't know if it's worth it. That's just me, So it's kind of like a yes and a no. I'm leaning more towards no. But I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's my thoughts. You guys let me know your thoughts. And that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I articulated correctly, because I feel like I don't know, maybe I got a little slippery there. But you guys let me know if my comments were, if it seemed appropriate or not. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next videos. We got some more topic videos coming up, and other things coming out. But until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.